All right. Well, it's wonderful to be with all of you. I hope you are all staying safe wherever you are around the world. And I am sending you all of my positive vibes to each and every one of you and your families near and far. I am known as the godfather of LinkedIn video, one of the world's top video marketing and live streaming experts. I've actually been on LinkedIn every day for the last 17 and a half years, believe it or not. And on the internet since it was green screen and chat rooms, 20 plus years of digital marketing experience working with Fortune 500 brands and our 500 brands across the globe. I was named a 2020 top 50 most impactful people of LinkedIn, as well as a 2020 LinkedIn Global Leader of the Year for the second year in a row, which I'm so humbled by. I am one of the pioneering top LinkedIn video as well as LinkedIn Live creators in the world, a sought after international keynote speaker, and have been named a Forbes featured entrepreneur as well as a LinkedIn top voice. In 2019, I was named a LinkedIn Video Creator of the Year, and my live shows, shout out Saturday Live as well as What's Good Wednesday Live, have aired live for more than 300 consecutive episodes combined. Show was actually named 2020 Best Live Festive Show of the Year at the IBM TV Awards out of thousands of hours of programming in over 120 countries. And the shows have also been featured in Forbes and Thrive Global, Yahoo Finance, an Amazon best-selling book, as well as a smart TV network. Set and continue to hold several LinkedIn Live records. In July of 2019 was actually set a record for broadcasting live for more than 4 hours at an in-person LinkedIn local LA event. And this March, just passed in 2021, set a record by having 150 guests live in 4 hours on the 150th episode of Shout Out Saturday Live. I am the founder and CEO of Voice Your Vibe. I do serve on a number of boards, and I'm a trusted advisor and mentor to founders and companies around the globe, and through workshops as well as one-on-one mastery coaching. Teach founders, C-suite execs, and their teams who want to find their voice, show up, and don't know how to voice your vibe, how to attract your tribe, and how to tell a story people will fall in love with on LinkedIn through live and pre-recorded video. Okay, now that I've just spewed all of that at you guys, you're going to understand why in just a few minutes. We're going to learn today how to voice your vibe, how to bring a community together, and how to make an impact during a pandemic. All right, this is all about creating and fostering memorable experiences live by reaching people's hearts and allowing them to feel seen and heard. Why? Because incredible things happen when we come together. Kenneth said it earlier, now more than ever, people may forget what you say, but they will never forget how you make them feel. Maya Angelou said that. And in these times that we've been living in for the last year and a half, people are yearning for connection. What's creating this disconnection is a global pandemic, right? We've been cut off from our normal places of connection. We haven't been going to work, to the gym, to restaurants, to happy hours, to the park, to the movies, to live events like Digital Marcon, right? We're not leaving our homes. We're looking for community. And people want to connect with people that they relate to. Today, there are 775 million and growing beating hearts on LinkedIn, 260 million active users, and single digits creating native video content on the platform. I want to say that again. 775 plus million beating hearts on LinkedIn, 260 million quote unquote active users, meaning you've got a profile and account, and single digits creating content on the platform. Now, there are people behind the profile and behind the company page, because before the job, the role, the title, the company, we are all humans with a heartbeat. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has had an impact on virtually every industry that you can think of. Okay, it has literally changed the way we travel. It has changed the way we learn, the way we watch, the way we market, the way we enjoy culture. However, one of the major silver linings has been the rapid adoption of live streaming and online video. Why? Because in-person connection and attendance has taken you from live streaming as the next best thing to in-person. And it's proven to be effective based on the fact that people keep coming back to live events and shows just like this. Now, as my friends at Uscreen shared late last year, while LinkedIn's live video service made it to market a little bit later, June 2019, the platform is still valuable as ever. The average LinkedIn user has 2 times more buying power than the average internet user. Making live video a must-have tool in every marketer's arsenal. I'm going to give you some more stats. LinkedIn live streams have grown 158% since February of 2020. Live videos on LinkedIn drive 7 times more reactions and 24 times more comments than standard video posts. And 3% of marketers use LinkedIn Live. Now, business starts with relationships. Relationships start with community. Community starts with you. And it is the heart of it all that matters. Because like I said, before the job, the role, the title, the company, we are all humans with a heartbeat. And when we bring our hearts together, incredible things happen. Community is everything. And your vibe does attract your tribe. So you need to show up and voice your vibe. Now, the reality is that people are feeling disconnected and living with fear. We're not living up here. We're living here with our chest cracked open and our hearts beating wide. And people want to feel loved. They want to feel welcome. They want to feel accepted. They want to feel empowered. And yes, now more than ever, they want to feel that it's okay to not be okay. Because more people are coming onto the platform than they were before, and they're looking for different experiences. Now, how do you voice your vibe and bring your community together to make an impact during a pandemic? How do you create and foster memorable experiences live by reaching people's hearts, allowing them to feel seen and heard? You show up. You just start. You make the conversation real and relatable. One week, a gentleman by the name of Carl Sean Watkins showed up in the comments of one of the shows, and it was the very first time we had ever seen him. Now, encouraged by me, my producer, and the community in the comments, he joined us live as a guest then and there. And sitting behind his little desk, he had a painting behind him, he shared that he was suffering from COVID. He had been cooped up in his home for weeks, feeling sad, no connection to anyone. He was searching for LinkedIn with the hope of finding somewhere to connect. And he just happened to find the show. Now, he shared with us that he was a fellow live streamer. He hadn't broadcasted in quite a while, and he had just didn't have the energy or, quite honestly, inspiration, which had essentially cut him off from his community. Now, we got Carl on the show. We got him smiling. We got him dancing. We got him laughing, which he said he hadn't done in a long time. He came alive. Carl is a great example of how community lifts you. Right? As marketers, we're always trying to build community. We're always trying to bring people together. We're always trying to help people feel the energy and the vibes of the brand. Encouragement and community support are everything. Now, when you create this environment, it allows people to show up and move out of their comfort zone, getting comfortable being uncomfortable, which is when growth happens and which is when the magic happens. Now, I've seen the encouragement of the community in the comments from either me as a host. They step into this place where they're not comfortable. They're terrified to get on camera. They're adamant they never will be on camera or have never gotten on camera. They feel disheveled with COVID. Their houses are turned upside down. Their hair is a hot mess. Kids are literally running around like lunatics. Animals are hanging from the ceilings. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. And if you know the movie, you know the reference. To joining their very first live show as a guest, hosting about it, sharing videos, screenshots, and more about their experience that made them feel a certain way. And it not only made them feel a certain way, they wanted to experience that feeling over and over and over again. I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I'm a big fan of stories. I was recently doing a keynote at Upkey's 500 VIP intern with 500 VIP Upkey intern students from around the world. There were about 12 or 13 pages of Zooms, right? Almost every single camera was turned off. And I lovingly stopped and I called them out. Why? Because we were talking about video live and every excuse under the sun was hurled at me through the comments. I can't. I'm out for a walk. I'm in bed. My 17-month-old is screaming. I'm in my pajamas. You name it, they gave it. And I was dressed as I am today, business on top. And yes, I'm wearing sweatpants, people, pandemic on the bottom. And when the hair comments came out, I took my hair out, just like I'm going to do for you right now, of this ponytail. It literally has been a year plus since I have cut my hair. And what happened as soon as I did was they literally started laughing in the comments, and the cameras started turning on person by person and page by page. Why? Because I made myself relatable. They were all in the same state to some degree. Now, I've had my moments in this pandemic, many of them, as I know all of you had as well. And recently I shared one of those experiences of sadness with my tribe. I showed up as I was in the moment, vulnerable, because my community gave me permission to do so as I do them. It's not about community flowing to us and from us. It's about being a part of the community. The reality is your community makes you feel a certain way. They support you. They encourage you. They lift you up. And this is why you show up as well. Showing up real for your tribe and providing a safe space for people to laugh, to cry, to feel, and know that it's okay to do so and truly connect with one another. Comments are a very powerful way to connect. People make a ton of connections in the comments, just like you do here. Saying hello to one another, genuinely checking in on one another, asking one another, how are you doing? Welcoming someone back. Hey, it's good to see you. I'm so glad that you made it. It wouldn't be Digimarcon without you, right? True connection. And there are a lot of ways to show up for your community. Now, if you're already established, here are some quick tips for you. Create what are called events on LinkedIn, which can be scheduled in advance of your show. Ideally, a few days in advance of your stream. Now, why? Because it creates opportunity to bring your tribe back together, to start the conversation, and to build community. In advance of your event, your community is coming together. They're interacting with one another. They're actively supporting one another, which drives them to want to show up. It's an opportunity to be seen and to be heard, which increases their probability that they will show up again, tell other people about it, they will stay and keep coming back each time. And in just creating this event, you create an opportunity for people to be seen and to be heard, which makes them feel a certain way. And what creates a memorable experience? How you make them feel. Now, if you're just getting started, here are some other quick tips. Now, the above applies as well, but in addition, I want you to think about what people have done to reach your hearts. I want you to recall a memorable experience. What made it that way? Sure, that moment was about what was shared, but it was likely more about how you felt here. So how do you get into people's hearts? And that's the same for those that are established. That's the question you want to keep asking yourself every time you show up. Am I reaching people's hearts? What do they respond to? Be genuine. Be relatable. Show up as you are. We've talked about creating memorable experiences for your community, but why do we show up? We show up for our community and to make a difference by bringing people together, by connecting them, because you know you're helping others. You're reaching others. A depressed 30-year marketing vet and agency CEO gave me every reason under the sun why she couldn't show up live. House turned upside down due to COVID. Her kids were home from college. Hair a hot mess. Bad lighting. Bed unmade. The list goes on and on. And literally realizing after I said, what else? The light bulb went off for her. And she said, I get it. We're all going through the same experience together. The playing field was leveled for everyone, and that is relatable. She showed up at her desk, baseball cap on backwards, which, by the way, is so not her style, bed behind her, and said with a smile on her face, welcome to Glavin's frat house. She showed up every week for a year then forward to be on the show. I asked her why. She said because it made her feel better. It's good for your community and the individual to know that it's okay to not be okay. Whether you're educating, encouraging, entertaining, informing, or even selling, heart first. Help others to be seen and heard. Call them out in the comments. It means so much. Connection, feel, a loyal family, LinkedIn fam. People are terrified to come on the show for the first time, like Wendy and Carl above, and countless others. Now they have taken the lead. They've joined more shows as guests. They've started their own live shows. They've taken the stage being speakers, feeling courageous, confident, encouraged, and supported. Now more than ever, people may forget what you say, but they will never forget how you make them feel. Remember, we talked about Maya Angelou sharing that in the beginning. And in these times that we're living in, people are yearning for connection. They want to connect with people they relate with. Remember, as I shared in the beginning, business starts with relationships. Relationships start with community, and community starts with you and me. And it is the heart of it all that matters. Because before the job, the role, the title, the company, we are all humans with a heartbeat. And when we bring our hearts together, incredible things happen. Remember that community is everything and that your vibe does attract your tribe, and that all you have to do is show up and voice your vibe. Now, I do want to share something before I wrap up with a couple last statistics. You heard all the accolades that I shared with you in the beginning. I shared them with you for a very important reason. And that reason is this. I was a pound-and-a-half miracle baby in the 70s that wasn't supposed to live. I grew up with a neurological disorder called Tourette's syndrome, which are tics and twitches. I grew up on a scale of 1 to 10, a 7 out of 10 on that Richter scale, jumping up and down, twitching my neck constantly, wrist flicking, lots of facial expressions, lots of auditory noises. I was the weird kid. I was different. I got bullied a lot. I dealt with a lot of adversity. It took me a long time to get comfortable being uncomfortable with who I am. Video changed my life. It was the first time in my life that I didn't feel weird and different because of all the support and the love and the encouragement that I got from LinkedIn fam on the platform. You look at LinkedIn and you go, this is a business social networking platform. I'm supposed to show up in my proverbial suit and my proverbial suit speak, and that's the way I'm supposed to do it because that predisposition is in your head. No. Before the job, the role, the title, the company, we are all humans with a heartbeat. Don't forget the importance of human connection. The way you reach people is their hearts, especially in the middle of a pandemic. Because just as our previous speaker shared, just showing up and saying, now more than ever, ... does not mean that you get it. That doesn't mean that you're reaching people. The way you reach people in marketing, care. Uscreen shared recently, consumers are watching more live events with an increase of 20% in live videos watch time between March and August of 2020. The number of live events grew 1,468% between January and August of 2020, and the number of live streaming events has increased by 300% between March and August of 2020. I cannot wait to see what the statistics are next year, looking back at this year. But I hope that you and your families near and far are staying safe. I am sending all of my positive vibes to each and every one of you. I would love to connect with you. Please send me a personalized invite request on LinkedIn that says you saw me speak at Digital Marketing at Home 2021. And I'd love to invite all of you to be on either of my 2 global award-winning weekly live shows on LinkedIn and other platforms. What's Good Wednesday Live at 11 o'clock Pacific, and Shout Out Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific. Saturday is a 4-hour show. Wednesday is usually a 2-hour show. It's all about funness, guys. Remember the importance of having fun. We have lost that so much in the last year and a half with everything that's happening in this world. There is still ways for us to come together. There are still ways for us to have fun. And like I said, incredible things happen when we come together. All right, Kenneth, if you're still there, it'd be good to have you come back. And I want to thank you all for making me feel so welcome. I truly appreciate it.
Brian, I'm here.
There he is.
So let's talk a little bit about how you need to get people to engage with you specifically on LinkedIn and how you've built that community as well as separately on Facebook. And again, most of it, humans got accounts on both. So there is a different way though that the people react rather than just the way you react when you're building a community. So at least how do you look at the channels differently?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. So each platform is built by a technology provider with a purpose, right? It's to bring people together. And yet they all have their own predispositions. So Facebook, typically, we know it to be this friends, family, college buddies, right? They've all morphed over time to a business centric platform. But the important thing is to remember to get yourself out of the head of the predisposition that exists, right? So you would think showing up on Facebook, maybe you're not supposed to talk about business. Again, it's morphed a lot, right? Advertising is everywhere. In fact, a lot of people have actually left Facebook because it's just not what they felt it used to be anymore. And they've gone to other platforms. So showing up on Facebook, showing up on LinkedIn, showing up on TikTok, right? I mean, it's just getting that predisposition out of your head and realizing the most important part is to show up and just be you. Show up and talk about those things that you're passionate about, right? That's the other part of it that I think is missed. Because even if you were a business, right, showing up, you've got a business page on LinkedIn, you've got a business page on Facebook, right? Well, people aren't associating Kenneth to Digimarcon. They're saying it's Digimarcon, the company. They're thinking about a brick and mortar, if you will. They're not thinking about a human being. And when you show up as the human being, you associate that human being to the brand. And that's where the connection point comes in, right? So it's not just about showing up and talking about business. It's showing up and talking about those things that you're passionate about. Because no matter what, your business is always associated to, your brand is always associated to you. They can always go back and look and see, oh yeah, Kenneth is at Digimarcon. But why do I like Kenneth?
Yeah, but let me ask you, we had a couple of folks yesterday. I don't know if you got the chance to see them yesterday, but we had a panel session with Smuckers and with ConAgra, and then Margot from Publicis. Again, one of the largest 5 agencies in the world. Margot is not Publicis. Alex is not ConAgra. Jessica is not Smuckers. How does somebody in a bigger brand though really start positioning themselves if you're not a coach or a solopreneur or in a smaller business maybe?
Kenneth, the biggest and most underutilized asset of every brand is its people. It's the people that we associate with, the people we fall in love with, the people we do business with, the people we build relationships with. It's about the people, because if you don't have the people, you don't have a brand, you don't have a company, you don't have a product, because people build all of it. The most underutilized asset of every brand is its own people. I get paid as an influencer to do branding for companies. Mm-hmm. Why? You have your own people who love your brand more than anything. They're your ambassadors. Empower them to show up. Empower them to voice their vibe. Empower them to be the face and the voice on behalf of your brand. You don't have to go hire people like me to do that when you already have people that feel that vibe, right? Otherwise, what are they with your brand for? What are they with your company for, right? You have an association to that. It makes you feel a certain way, right? That's what true branding is all about. It's not about how much it costs. Yes, it fits me a certain way if it's a piece of clothing or it accomplishes a certain goal. But at the end of the day, it's all about how that brand makes you feel that makes it sticky.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have 2 sponsors for my show now, so I do not want them to leverage.
Yeah.
I do not want them to leverage their voice take away from me.
Nor do I. But just in context.
But yeah, I get your point. So, well, Brian, thank you so much. Where do people find out more about you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can, like I said, you can find me on LinkedIn. Please feel free to connect with me there. Do send me a personalized invite that you saw me speak at Digimarcon at home. I have thousands of invites in my inbox at any given time. I don't want to miss yours. And as I shared, and Kenneth has been on the show many times, having lots of fun. Please feel free to come join us. It is International Dance Day today, so 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern. We will be live on LinkedIn broadcasting for 4 hours, and it is literally all about social dancing, which is something I created in the early days of the pandemic, of having a good time together, getting our dance on.
Awesome. Brian, have an awesome, good day.
Thank you all.
All right, buddy.